Here are the eyes. And it's because I missed all the single crochet rounds in between the increase rounds. And she said I was nominated for something. It is a good morning, I guess. I mean, I haven't been awake for that long. This guy right here, he's got a very creepy expression. You'll never guess what I'm gonna make with it. You're right, it's a dragon. And then the other thing I finished yesterday was the dragon for my dad. I'm just blown away. Totally blown away. I just want to see things starting to build in a direction. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah and in today's video we are going to be hanging out. We're going to be working on a custom order. We're going to be making Christmas presents for a few special people in my life, and then I'm also going to be baking. That was the third thing. It's not technically crochet related, but I'm still taking you along for that anyways. I am currently working on a custom order that I have for a Galaxy Dragon. It's pretty much a remake of the one I made, except for somebody else. I don't know where my brain was going with that, but I ended up ordering from Sweet Beans Crochet to get a few more eyes, and then also from Naughty Pony to get more black yarn. I have a couple yarn hauls for you. One of them is not here yet. One of them is from Premier during their sale. I decided to get some certain colors because I don't have those in Sweet Snuggles Light. I also ordered from Naughty Pony. The Naughty Pony is kind of boring because I just went ahead and grabbed a ridiculous amount of black yarn and some pink yarn. But anyways, I'll still show it to you. Started making this nose wrong. I'm working on the Willow custom order, so brain is all over the place. Anyways, I also ordered from Sweet Beans Crochet. I got the couple of eyes. I think I already said that, but I want to show them to you. They're not exactly the same, which is actually perfect because I personally prefer unique plushies. Even though I will be making the Galaxy Dragon again, trying to keep it pretty close to the original, it'll still be different and unique. She did have these on a card, really nicely packaged and everything. I just took them off, but here are the eyes. Hopefully it is in focus, but they are pink, green, blue. They got stars in them. Such gorgeous eyes. I cannot wait to work on this Galaxy Dragon. I did touch all over them, so that's why they're not like super duper shiny. But I'm going to work on the Galaxy Dragon. That is the plan. I want to get it done in the next 3 days. That's my goal. I'm hoping to finish the body today. The body's going to be the hardest part to replicate because I did the color changes. So I have no idea how that's going to turn out, so hopefully it looks good. Let me show you my Naughty Pony haul real quick. Cute Naughty Pony card. And then I got black. I have 6 skeins of pink. I don't really have a lot of light pink. I would use the Sweet Snuggles Light, but the texture's kind of been hit and miss with the newer stuff where Naughty Pony is just so soft I can't pass it up. I also got even more black and even more black yarn. So I ended up getting, I think I ordered 22 black, which having a place to put this is the bigger question, but still. And no, I'm going to be using the black on everything. The texture on Naughty Pony is just so great, I can't not use it. As for the second thing I'm going to work on, the Christmas presents, I have 5 people I'm making presents for. I have my 3 siblings and my mom and my dad. They're all getting a present. So I am making, we'll go through the list. My youngest brother, he is getting Yokemon, which is a Digimon. I am not into Digimon or Pokemon. It's just not something I grew up with personally, so I don't know anything about the lore or the characters or anything like that, but I will still make him a Digimon since he's interested in that. For my older sister, I'm going to be making her Jay Feather from the Warrior Cat series. I didn't really read that series very much, but I kind of know what she's talking about. For my older brother, I'm making him a video game character, Flowey. An evil flower. But he's been obsessed with this plushie I purchased from Traveling Pony Studios, so I'm going to make something similar to that except in yellow to match the flowy colors. For my mom, I'm making her something practical, so not a plushie. I'm actually going to make her a beanie. I want to make it like super textured and color changes, all the pretty stuff. And then finally for my dad, he was going to get a beanie. He watches all my videos, so you better stop watching this video until after Christmas. You're going to get spoiled on your Christmas present. I was going to make him a beanie, but he actually wanted a dragon, which that was my original plan. I was originally gonna make him a dragon, and I was like, no, he'd probably like something more practical. No, my dad wants a dragon, so that's what I'm making him. But those are all the presents I'm going to be making, so I got 5 of them total. I have about 2 weeks to finish all of those presents. I think the plushies will be fairly simple. It's just the beanie that I'm not so sure if that will be quick or not, because it's not something that I normally do, so I know it's going to be on the longer side. I really need to get as much as I can finished before this weekend, because this weekend is when I'm going to be doing Christmas baking, and I need to bake some stuff for some other family and send it out so they can have some Christmas cookies from me. I'm going to keep you all updated and everything, and I will check in with you eventually. Excuse the lighting, but I just have to show you this. I'm so mad right now. I started the dragon, right? And I also started the color work. I thought, it's looking pretty good actually. It's tedious, but it's coming together. I'm using photos from the original one, so I have different photos in a collage so I can see the color changes. But anyways, I just realized why the body looks so weird, and it's because I missed all the single crochet rounds in between the increase rounds. So I messed up all the way from here, which means I'm gonna have to pull back all of this and start again on the color work. I can't believe I forgot how to crochet willow. I mean, I've crocheted so many willows, and for some reason with this dragon, I was like, yeah, the neck portion's looking weird, but I'm sure once I stuff it, it'll be fine. No, it's because I literally forgot 5 rounds of single crochet. Actually, probably four rounds of single crochets. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that this horrible situation has occurred, but I'm gonna fix it. Well, I kind of took it a tiny bit too far, but at least Naughty Pony frogs well, right? I'm so disappointed right now in myself for not reading my own pattern. Back to crocheting. Good morning. I have a dragon update for you all. So here's an update on the color work so far. I think it's looking pretty. I have to say though, color work is probably the most tedious thing I could ever do in crochet. I will take making those little tiny mushrooms over making anything with color work. And that's why I had no plans on replicating this design. The person really wanted a galaxy dragon, the person who ordered from me, so I agreed. And because I have nothing else going on, I said, why not? Let's just do it. They actually already paid for it, so now I just need to get it finished and shipped out. It's always very exciting when a transaction actually is finished, or well, obviously it's not finished yet, but it's very exciting when somebody actually pays for something, because there's always that small part of you that's not sure if they're really serious about getting it. Not just with this plushie, but you know, in general, when people purchase things from me, I'm always a little scared that maybe they're messing with me, because I've had tons of people try and scam me. I just ignore them. But I've had someone who legitimately tried to scam me, and they came off very genuine and very real. And I didn't give her any information that she could use. And it probably wasn't even a she, but it ended with us just not talking anymore. But I have to say, that kind of stuff, it always just kind of puts things in a perspective where you're unsure. You're suspicious of everyone. And I don't trust anyone with my information. If somebody orders from me and I don't know them, they get an invoice through Square. And when they pay the invoice, then I make the plushie. I did end up having to change the color work a little bit from the original because everything is slightly off the way I did things. So it's still going to be gorgeous. It's just going to be slightly different. I'm just going to continue working on the color work. I should have it finished this morning, hopefully. But I mean, it's looking pretty cool already. It's coming together, that's for sure. I'm not sure if I'll ever make anything like this again. I did have 2 pairs of galaxy eyes though, so maybe I need to make one more, but different color work. I'm thinking maybe doing like one long strip all the way around to like halfway down the tail would be epic. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just gonna work on this one first, and then if I make another galaxy dragon, it will be closer to my festival, because every time I show you all a dragon, it somehow disappears shortly after I show it, especially with the more crazy looking dragons, detailed dragons. I want to make sure that I make those dragons as close to my festival as possible so they don't disappear. I'm gonna check in with you soon, probably once this body is finished, so hopefully in a couple hours it'll be done. I know my desk is a chaotic mess, but I've kind of accepted that because this project is quite large. 5 different yarn colors and multiple other yarn types. It is what it is. But I wanted to show you the finished body here, and I totally forgot to turn my light on. I just realized that. So not the best lighting, but still. I also kind of noticed that this looks a little bit weird, but I think once I sew everything together, it'll kind of come together. I'm not really sure what I did differently with this one though. This side looks great. It looks good over here. It's just kind of, it's not bad. Once everything's together, it'll be fine. I'm gonna add the fluff all the way down. I'm gonna do what I did last time where I kind of curved it around the color work. The way the color work sits on this one though, it is a little bit different. So I'm not sure how extreme that little curve will end up being, but we'll see. I should have enough fluffy yarn to crochet this guy as well. I do have quite a bit left. My only concern right now is I don't know if I have enough glitter yarn to do the tail and the wings. So I'm gonna make the tail and see how much I have left and probably start the wings. I am going to be near Michael's on Thursday, so I can always get the yarn then, but I really did want to have this finished by Thursday, so we'll see. Well, hopefully I have enough yarn. If not, we'll just have to accept the fact that I'll need Thursday to crochet the wings. That's the body so far. Looking pretty good. I think anyone's going to notice that these wings are 2 different sizes. This wing is bigger than this wing. I'm still going to commit though because I can't imagine taking this yarn apart, so I'm sure that it'll be fine. No one will notice. No one will notice. I finished all of the pieces for this dragon last night, so I have the black and blue legs because I did 2 colors, super cool. The ears, the horns, which are super cool as well. Tedious to color change, but they're both really pretty. And then I have the glitter wings. Hopefully you can see them all ready to go. So now I just need to sew this guy together and then embroider the stars. So I've got quite a bit of work left, probably 2-3 hours. I think 3 hours is probably a good estimate. I have some exciting news. I am honestly kind of blown away by it all because it feels very strange, but some of you may or may not have heard of the Yarnie Awards, which is just kind of like a celebration of other crocheters and YouTubers and all the fun things. I didn't hear about this until after it happened last year, and I wasn't part of it. Like I said, I didn't even really know it existed. But this year I was prepared for it, so when they posted about it, a bunch of people are hosting it, so when they posted about it, I was immediately sharing, and I kind of just hinted at anyone who wanted to nominate me for anything, and I received a message this morning from Croutons Crochet, and she said I was nominated for something. Crochet by Jenna followed me too, which I was like, I've only talked to her once, and we don't know each other at all, but it was very cool to see that yesterday. So I kind of had an idea that something was about to happen with the Yarnie Awards because both those people are hosts of it when she followed me, and I was like, I'm curious if this is because I was nominated for something. I don't know what. She's just asking me for some photos, so I sent them on over, but it's so exciting. I'm blown away that people would nominate me, and that's probably silly. I mean, it's not like I have a teeny tiny YouTube channel anymore or a teeny tiny Instagram. It still kind of feels like I do sometimes. When I take a step back and look at it all, it's kind of mind-blowing. I am completely blown away that I would be even considered in something like this. I've said it before where I haven't really gone viral for anything, and I'm just kind of over here making fun stuff and just hanging out. I'm not trying to be that next big thing. To be included in something like this is really crazy. So I appreciate all of you who nominated me for whatever category I will end up being in. It is crazy to think about that so many of you nominated me that I was even considered. That is really, really epic. I'm interested to see how that goes, what happens with it. Even just having my name in the pool of people is cool. So I will take whatever, even if I don't actually win anything. It's very, very cool. I am working on this dragon. I have to edit a video for this weekend. It's early. That's nice. It's always nice to edit a video early. But I'm going to finish the Galaxy Dragon today and then edit that video because I do not want to spend time on that, editing that until this is ready and shipped out. This guy needs to go out as soon as he's done, pretty much, just to make sure he gets there before Christmas. So I'm hoping to have this guy finished today, and I'm going to get a bunch of videos with him, photos and everything, because this guy needs some time in the spotlight on my social medias. You all really loved the first Galaxy Dragon I made, so this one will be pretty similar, but it'll still be really pretty. I can't wait to share it. I just wanted to talk about that exciting stuff, and we'll just see what happens with it. I'm just blown away by everything that's been happening just with this channel and everyone's support, and it's just kind of strange actually to think about it. It's mind-blowing. That is all I have for you for now. I gotta get these limbs sewn on and in a way that doesn't look awkward is my point. I'll get it put together today. I'll check in with you all in a little bit. I sewed on the first wing And then I just decided to remake the smaller one, which I ended up doing. This is the smaller one that I took it completely apart and I started again, which is so tedious. The wings, I have to say, are like my least favorite part of a dragon, so it is very frustrating. But anyways, I remade it. It looks good from the front, right? And then what happened back here? I don't know what happened. I was not paying attention. That's gotta be what it was, but I'm going to take this little bit out, make sure it's centered, and then it will be finished and I'll join it on. But it is, this is driving me crazy, these wings. But they actually look even now. Hopefully you can tell. It was really bad. I thought it would be okay, but the perfectionist in me, I couldn't handle it. So I just took the extra half an hour or so to take it apart and start again. But now it's even, so that's okay. I'm going to get this sewn on and then I'll get you all an update before I add the stars. I just finished putting together the Galaxy Dragon, so here he is all sewn together. I ended up remaking the wing like I said, and they are much more even and not noticeably different at all, so that's good. I did the color work a little bit different this time, so the legs sit a little different, but I still think it's really cute. Tail as well. So now I just need to embroider stars. I need to look at my reference photos. I believe I put them all over the back and then on one side of the head. I'm going to remind myself what my own pattern looked like and then finish this guy up. But I just wanted to show him to you before I give him his stars. Those stars definitely, they're that cherry on top, the extra detail that's perfect for this dragon. It is a good morning, I guess. I mean, I haven't been awake for that long. I have a couple of things that I need to do this morning before I head out at about 11ish. So the major thing is I need to get my Galaxy Dragon ready to ship out. So I'm working on a freebie for that. And once I finish the freebie, I'll go ahead and package it up. I am waiting for approval from the person who bought it. But once I get that, which I'm certain I'll get it pretty quickly here, but once I get that, then I'll go ahead and package it up. But I will start on my little gift bag before I do so. I think I showed you the Galaxy Dragon, but I didn't talk about it. Grab the Galaxy Dragon, I'll show it to you real quick. Here he is, all finished. He's got stuffing all over him, of course, because he's a black dragon. You just see it immediately. But these gorgeous eyes are from Sweet Beans Crochet. I had her rush order me some. I think I talked about this already, but they have purple, pink, green, blue with the stars in them. Seriously, so gorgeous. Here's a look at the back with the color work, and on this side too. And then the tail is finished and everything. So this guy is ready to go. The buyer already paid, so I just need to get their approval and then ship him out. I am very excited that I'm finished with this order. I'm almost finished, but I feel like I'm finished because I would like to be able to move on to the Christmas presents, which I actually did start doing last night. I started on the hat for my mom. I am going to bring that with me today when I leave the house because I have an appointment, so I'm going to be waiting for a long time. So I'll just bring the crochet and crochet while I wait. The hat is looking pretty good. I'm using Skinny Chanel for that and Petite Pearl, so it's going to be super duper soft. The stitches are on the small side, which is my goal. It should be extra cute, extra pretty. It's not a plushie. You can see where my brain is right now. It's not here. It's kind of all over the place. It's actually also thinking of working on a different present because for the hat I'm using 4 colors. That's a lot of yarn. I might end up working on a different Christmas present while I wait. But step number 1 of this morning is finishing the Galaxy Dragon and getting it ready to ship out. I'll just keep you updated.
And the dragon is all boxed up and ready to go. There's always this tiny part of me that's concerned I forgot something, so I always go through the mental checklist and I still feel like I might have forgot something, but I got this one right. But thank you so much for your order if you're watching. I don't know if you do or not, and that's totally fine, but I just appreciate it so much. I cannot wait for it to arrive. Hopefully it arrives safely. That is it for now. I'm going to decide what project I'm going to work on today, and then I will let you know what I end up doing when I decide. Yesterday I ended up working on a couple of the Christmas presents for my brothers. So I started Flowey. This guy right here, he's got a very creepy expression. It's definitely not exact. The smile could be more exact, but I still think it gets the point across. I mean, it's super creepy, so hopefully that's good enough. My plan with this one is to create a stem coming down and then put wire in the stem. Get a pot. A lot of people make a pot, I think, for flowers, but I'm gonna get a pot. Stick him right in there. That's my plan with that guy. And then I just barely started Yokomon, which is the Digimon. I have the yoke part, and then I'm working on the white part. My plan with this is to make a second one of these, layer them together with the back sides together, and then crochet it together. That way it lays nice and flat. It's got a little bit more of a body, and then both sides will look nice. I still need to make his shell too after I make the other side of the white. And the shell has some green markings on it, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. That is what I've been working on. I was also crocheting a hat. I have no idea if I showed it to you or not, but I started the hat for my mom. This guy right here. So I'm having a little bit of fun with the colors. I realized how many ends I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with. So when I started this, I was like, okay, we need to add some panels with less color change. So that's what I ended up doing. This is just half double crochets in the third loop to create the ribbing texture, and then color changing to my heart's content, whatever I end up doing. This is probably halfway finished, but it's gonna have a foldable brim, and then it's obviously going to be cinched at the top up here. So hopefully I nailed the height. If it's too long of a hat, I'm gonna be disappointed because this is a lot of work. Crocheting hats with small yarn type is an interesting experience, that's for sure. I have a few major things I need to do today. Only one of them is crochet related. I have to clean my house today. Today's Friday. So I'm cleaning my house because I need to bake cookies over this weekend for us and then also for family, and I want to make sure that the house is clean for that, of course. You know, I want to bake in a not so perfectly clean kitchen. I also am going to kind of start setting up for Christmas decorations because we haven't done any of that this year yet. I'm probably going to set aside the Christmas gifts for now and work on the things that I need to do for this weekend, plus editing the video. So that means I'm going to stop talking to you and I'll check in with you soon. Hopefully I'll have all the things I need to do today finished when I check in next. I decided to voice over this section, so hopefully the audio sounds good. I started off my day for baking by making peppermint bark, and I usually put the white chocolate right on top of the dark chocolate, and it kind of swirls a little bit. This prevents the layers from coming apart, as I've had happen in the past. Once I finished topping everything with the peppermint bark and it's set up, I went through and I trimmed any pieces, and anything that was too small or maybe a little bit not so pretty, I chopped up because I was planning on making peppermint bark triple chocolate cookies. I highly recommend that if you do make peppermint bark to use candy canes though, and not the little circle candies, because breaking apart the circle candies was a nightmare. I did that last year and we'll never do that again. Candy canes for the win. Here's a final look at the peppermint bark. Here are all the peppermint bark pieces mixed with some white chocolate, because of course I had to add more to it. And I'm starting on the triple chocolate chip peppermint bark cookies. These were so good. I gave everything a thorough cream, folded it of course, and then creamed it some more. You always want to make sure you mix it all the way through. A lot of people will tell you that you have to mix the dry ingredients together separately, but I am here to tell you that for cookies, just put them all on top, give them a little whisk, and then blend it together, because they're cookies. It's not that deep, at least in my opinion. If you're making more complicated things, I would definitely mix the dry ingredients together first, but like I said, these guys are cookies. They'll be fine. I ended up having to add more white chocolate to these because there just wasn't enough chips in there. So I mixed that all together, which was a chore. And then here's a nice little satisfying clip of them all being put on a tray together. And yes, I do use gloves when working with food, especially sticky foods. It's mainly because I don't want to touch it, but the other thing is it's a lot more clean. I ended up making another batch of the triple chocolate cookies, except these ones were just plain, so with no peppermint. These ones are also really good. This base recipe is really good.
I'll have to put on the screen all the recipes I ended up using. That way you all can check them out. I'll put where I found them. All of these recipes worked out great. And here are the triple chocolate cookies getting their topping, so I can tell the two apart. I would not be able to tell them apart between the peppermint and the regular ones. On the bottom of this tray, I have the regular triple chocolate cookies, and then on top I put the peppermint bark so that they could refrigerate together, because these do need to be refrigerated. And then I moved on to my next cookie, which are molasses cookies. Fun fact, I did not like these cookies growing up, but now I actually really love them. They're super buttery and spicy. Obviously there's the molasses in there. They're just really, really good. You always have to measure the vanilla by heart. I know a lot of people are more particular about it, but trust me, these are some big batches of cookies. They could use a good pour of vanilla. And yes, I did make the molasses cookies entirely by hand, and yes, my arms regretted that decision greatly. If you've ever made cookie dough entirely by hand, then you probably already know it is so tough to mix together. Once they were finished, I had to go ahead and scoop them out and then roll them in sugar. Once I finished with the molasses cookies, I moved on to snickerdoodles, and these cookies actually turned out really good. The dough was a little dry, but they still cooked up really well, so that was good. And finally, I made some chocolate chip cookies, and the secret to a delicious chocolate chip cookie is to first make bakery style ones. Don't make basic ones, make bakery style ones. They're so good. Only a couple extra ingredients. And then the other thing is you need to make sure you add enough chocolate chips. And yes, I add a lot, but this was a double batch, so to be fair, I ended up making a lot of chocolate chip cookies. And here's another satisfying clip of them all going on the tray together. These videos take a long time to edit, so I hope you all enjoy. Let's go ahead and get into a yarn haul before continuing this baking excursion. I just finished making a bunch of cookies, so that's exciting. I haven't baked them off yet. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, but I made a whole bunch of doughs and they turned out pretty good. But what I have here for you right now is actually a yarn haul. I received this yarn yesterday, I think, but I haven't really had time to sit down and talk with you all because yesterday I spent all day cleaning, and then today I went grocery shopping this morning, and I've just been in the kitchen for the rest of the day. So it is finally 4:05 and I can sit down and talk with you all. I ended up getting some Premier yarn. So I ordered some Parfait plush, and I have to say this yarn is so soft. It is pretty much Sweet Snuggles light, except, you know, still really nice quality. I heard, though, rumors that Parfait Chunky has been having some production issues in terms of like the yarn texture. So if that is true, I'm really hoping it's not going to happen to the Parfait plush, because I was planning on switching to this yarn when I start running low on Sweet Snuggles light. In fact, I'm already kind of starting to move towards it because, for example, this color right here, this doesn't exist in Sweet Snuggles light, so I ended up getting a couple of these. I have the perfect plan for this. You'll never guess what I'm gonna make with it. You're right, it's a dragon. I'm gonna make a dragon out of it, okay? But I have such a good idea for this. The only unfortunate thing is I can't make them until I get my eyes from Sweet Beans Crochet, because the 30mm eye selection I currently have is not very good. So I have to wait till I get my order, which I don't know when it'll be. I'm fine with waiting. It's just waiting sucks. Nobody likes waiting. Here is the Premier blush in, I believe this was called Chartreuse. I absolutely love this color. I think it's going to be such a gorgeous willow. I'm not going to spoil you on what I'm going to do with it yet, but once I get my eyes, then I will start telling you my plans for that. I also grabbed some of this pink here, which ended up looking a lot darker than I expected. This one is Bubblegum, and I don't have any pink in this shade at all either, so I grabbed a couple of these just to have on hand. Maybe I need to make another unicorn. I also ordered some dark gray. This one is Seal, so I ordered their darker gray color, and I also ordered the lighter gray, which is pale gray. I got 4. I got 4 of each of these. The gray I have on hand, this shade right here, is terrible quality. I refuse to work with it unless I have to. I wanted to design a few more patterns. I wanted to make a big giant raccoon. I wanted to make a raccoon in the sitting style as well, and I just didn't have dark gray on hand for that. So I ordered a bunch so that I could make those patterns, design them in the new year. Speaking of the new year though, I do have a lot of plans for starting to design patterns again and actually getting back into kind of a routine with it rather than just sporadically doing it whenever I can. These will help with that plan, that's for sure. They're so soft, guys. Ugh, I really hope the Parfait plush stays like this. Please don't change. Don't touch the formula, okay? Don't touch it. I also ordered some of their, I think it was clearance yarn, but I ordered a ton of fluffy yarn. So this yarn right here, not really sure what happened to this ball of yarn, but it is Premier Bunny. Not Little Bunny, but Bunny. Look at how big this yarn is. If I can find a single strand. Look at how fluffy, and it's gonna be epic. So I ended up getting, came in 3 packs. So I got 3 of the light purple and 3 darker purples. I don't know if they were discontinuing these colors or if they just had a surplus. I want to, I think, make a giant fluffy purple bee. So using the buttercup pattern that I just released. That one is my, I think, my latest one. And speaking of patterns, I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I don't think I'm going to release any more patterns this year. I think that's my plan for now, just because for my own sanity, I don't know if I can keep track of it. So I'm going to start releasing new patterns in the new year though. So there's that. That is everything that I ordered from Premier during their holiday sale. That's really why I ordered so much of it. I'm gonna be working on those new patterns, like I already said, eventually here. I really just want to get through the holiday season, especially with the baking end, and then I have to edit a video, which I'm still working on. I haven't finished, so I just have a lot of things on my plate, and I just don't think I'll be able to actually get a pattern ready for tester calls until after Christmas. Hey, if you like what I have to say, make sure to like the video. That's what YouTubers say, right? I've been on YouTube since 2022. You'd think I'd be used to saying that, but I'm still not. Anyways, that's it. I'll check in with you in a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and bake all the cookies. I had to flatten the chocolate chip cookies out a little bit, and I will admit that they didn't cook that great this first batch. They were still cold, so the bottoms overcooked and the tops didn't cook right. And that's also a problem with my oven. So I ended up making the next batch, which I totally forgot to get footage of, but I will say that they looked a whole lot better than this first batch. Once I got all the cookies on the trays and started baking them, I started working on fudge. I used the fudge recipe on the back of the marshmallow fluff container. The only thing I do differently is I add some salt to it. I don't know if the recipe actually calls for it. I can't remember exactly, but I make sure to add salt, lots of vanilla. Tip that I have when making fudge is to put all the chocolate chips in a bowl and then put the marshmallow fluff on top of the chips. That way you don't have to sit there and fuss with the marshmallow fluff while you're trying to put it in the hot sugar mixture. For my first batch of fudge, I ended up putting peppermint pieces in it, and guys, this is the most delicious fudge ever. Would eat this every day if I could. The crunchy peppermint pieces, they stay crunchy, but some of them melt, so you can taste the peppermint in the fudge part along with the crunchy peppermint pieces. It's seriously so delicious. Highly recommend. I just put 1 whole box of candy canes, crushed them up, and put them in the fudge. Here's a glance of some of the cookies finished. These are the triple chocolate cookies. And then for the peppermint fudge, because there's peppermint pieces in them, I ended up smoothing the sides out a little bit before packaging them up, because the peppermint pieces, they kind of mess up the sides when you cut through them. So I ended up kind of molding these a little bit, kind of rounding the corners and smoothing anything out with gloved hands, of course. And here's another look at the cookies. So delicious. Snickerdoodles, molasses, and the fudge is so good. And I'm sorry I didn't get really epic photos or videos of the cookies all finished together. By the time I finished baking everything, I had to scrape this driveway because there was snow on our driveway, and I had to deliver all the cookies to my neighbors along with prepping the boxes that I was going to ship out. So I was tired by the end of this. It was standing all day. I already scraped the driveway that morning, and then I stood all day baking, and then I had to scrape it again before I left again, so it was just a whole thing. I will just promise you that they were really good. Let's get back to crocheting.
I finished baking yesterday, so I can finally get back to crocheting. I have not finished any projects yet, but I did start another one, which was this little will. And this is actually the present for my dad. I was going to make him a willow out of Skinny Chanel and Petite Pearl, so really detailed. But the color selection I have wasn't as epic as I wanted it to be. So I ended up going with Little Will instead in a bigger yarn type. I'm using the, I believe this is the Blue Raspberry from Naughty Pony. I'm gonna work on this guy today. I actually am gonna have to leave in I think an hour or so, and then when I get back from that I should be able to finish the dragon, hopefully today. That's the plan at least. We'll see what happens. I really just want to finish at least one present today, so I'm gonna try my best to do that. Yesterday I ended up finishing 2 of the 5 projects I'm working on, so that is great. I finished the hat. This is the hat for my mom. I'm not sure how I feel about the color work, to be honest. I feel like it could have been more interesting. I still think it is pretty and I think that she'll like it. But she requested a hat with a ponytail hole, so I ended up leaving a space at the top. And if she ends up not liking this placement, because she'll have to put the ponytail on the top of her head or close to the top of her head for it to come out of the beanie like that. But anyways, if she ends up not liking the hole, then I can cinch it all the way closed, or I can even put a pom-pom on the top. So that's my plan if she wants me to change anything on it. This is the hat though. It is super soft. It is on the bigger side so that it sits comfortably. And then the other thing I finished yesterday was the dragon for my dad. So I ended up going with this shades of blue, these shades of blue. I don't know why I can't talk today. I love how this dragon turned out. So pretty. I haven't decided if I'll give it any extra details yet. I don't know, we'll see, but for the most part, I think it is pretty much there. So today my goal is to finish the Flowey. I'm gonna work on this guy and then Yokemon for my younger brother. Here's his progress so far. I kind of got stuck on how to do the points on the shell, the break on the shell, and I was also torn on whether or not I should make the shell a light cream instead of white, so that it doesn't match the white part too much, but I don't know, I haven't decided yet. We'll see what I end up doing. And I will be sewing the shell on, so I don't have to weave in any of these ends. And then I also started the cat for my sister. I have no idea if I showed it to you or not, I can't remember. So this cat I'm kind of just freehanding based on other designs that I have, but here's the head started. I'm gonna do some embroidery when I get closer to finishing it. I want to get the ears on and everything. She really wants like a floppier, snuggly style body, so I'm going to probably do a combination of my snuggler body type and Kara the kitty. I do want to say something really fast about my future plans, because I did want to discuss it in this video. I'm actually planning on doing a video about all the patterns I designed this year, just like I did last year. So that video will talk about it more in depth than I will here, but I do want to say that all the patterns that I've shown you that aren't out yet, I will be finishing designing them and releasing them in the new year. I'm not releasing any more patterns this year because I need that little bit of break, and everything's kind of stressful right now in my real life. So instead of worrying about pattern releases, I'm just gonna start it in the new year. And that is my plan. Right now, I'm just going to be working on the Christmas presents for my family. And then also, I really want to crochet a dragon, but I don't have the 30mm eyes, so I'm not going to do that right now. There's something else I wanted to crochet though. I have to remember what it was and make it once I'm finished with the Christmas presents for everyone. I think that's all I have for you for now. I'm sure I will remember in 20 minutes things that I wanted to say. I have some exciting news, more than one piece of exciting news, but we'll start with the first thing, which I finished another present, and this is Flowey. He turned out pretty cool for a scary flower, I like to think. Here's the back. I ended up crocheting, let's see if the lighting will do its thing or not, a little bit of brown. This is Petite Pearl, so I used a size 4 yarn. A little bit tedious, but I made a nice little pot of soil for this guy. He has wire in the stem. It's not perfect, but I think it turned out pretty good for just experimenting without writing anything down or thinking about it too much. He stands up pretty much on his own, and he can always take the stem and bend it up, and he can look up or he can look down, you know, wherever he ends up going. I wanted the stem to be a lot longer. It was not working out because his head is too heavy for that, at least for the wire I bought. So he got a shortened stem. I started working on J feather again. So I have the head here. I have no idea if I showed you any of this, so I don't know if I did. These eyes are from Sweet Beans Crochet and they're stunning. I was actually going to use these on the Little Wheel tutorial, but I ended up changing my mind because I know some people don't like the white pupils. I didn't want to scare anyone away from that tutorial. I also have the feet. These are the back feet or the legs, and then these are the arms. I mean, technically they're all legs, but still. And I'm working on the body right now. She wants it on the floppy side, and then I'm also going to be using beads in the body, so it's nice and weighted. Something I forgot to mention about this, I did end up putting plastic beads in this pot as well to hold everything in place, make it a little bit weightier. The other bit of exciting news, it has nothing to do with the present making, but I was nominated for a Yarnie Award. I am shocked for a couple reasons, but mainly just because it blows me away to think about how I'm even part of the nominations at all and mentioned at all. So thank you all to whoever nominated me for creator under 50k. Not everyone in that category is a YouTuber. They are on Instagram, but I'm one of those on Instagram and YouTube. It's so exciting to be part of it at all. I'm just blown away. Totally blown away. Thank you all so much for your support with the Yarnie Awards. It really does blow me away to think about. I'm very truly blessed and I couldn't thank you all enough for it. I'm just excited to see where this goes. The voting ends at the end of December, I think the 29th if I remember correctly. And then the live is January 10th, so that's when we'll know who has won and who hasn't. I will try my hardest to attend the live because I would love to hear all of the nominees, all the winners, without finding out later. So hopefully I'm gonna set a date on my calendar and hopefully I can catch the live. If you all want to vote for me and haven't yet, you can always check it out. I think I might link it in the description. I'll probably put the Yarnie Awards stuff in the title, so it makes sense to put in the description too if you guys want to vote for me. There is no pressure at all. If there's somebody in my category you like more, that is totally fine. Go ahead and vote for them. I don't mind if I win or lose. It would be epic to win, but even being nominated is super cool. That's it for now. I'll check in with you soon. Exciting news! I finished all of my Christmas presents for my family. Woohoo! I am so glad these are finished because I really want to work on some other things. So I finished the hat. This is what it looks like. This is technically the back side because there's no white stripe. I guess it could be the front side too though, now that I think about it. I wasn't sure how much I felt about the color work, but I still think it's pretty. Looks like a nice hat. And then the dragon for my dad is all finished. And then I showed you Flowey last night. He looks super cool. All done. I also finished Yokamon this morning. I did the embroidery. Here he is. He's so cute. The shell really stumped me because what was happening was I was just sewing down the entire edge and then it would kind of sink in and just look really weird. So I ended up just tacking it down in a few places because I know my brother isn't going to be trying to tear this off, so it's fine. He looks pretty cute, all things considered. And then finally the kitty for my sister, J Feather. I put weights in the body so it is nice and kind of floppy, weighted. I really love how this turned out actually. So it was kind of a combination between Kara, the kitty, and my snuggler pattern. So I think it turned out really cute though. I could have done more with the color work, but I was tired of crocheting this, to be honest. Here it is finished though. So cute. Now that all the Christmas presents are finished, I'm going to work on something that I've been wanting to work on for a while now, and I'm going to be making a bunch of sea turtles. So the medium-sized ones. I'm going to be making pink ones first because, of course, I need pink ones. My plan is to make a whole bunch of these because I did sell out completely at my last event. I'm going to be more specific with the colors this time though and I haven't fully decided, but I'm thinking 5 of each color. I might make 3 of each color. We'll see how long it takes me to make these and if I get bored too quickly. So I'm thinking pink, blue, purple, and then a green on green. And then I also want to do a green with a brown shell, like your classic sea turtle. I have multiple shades of green, so I could do 2 different shades of the green with the brown shell, but I haven't fully decided on that either. I kind of get this thing where I go to crochet something, and then I start thinking about what colors I actually want to end up using, and then I'm just stuck. So I'm just sitting there going, okay, but if I use this color, then this won't work out, and if I use this color, then this. So my point with that is I just decided to just commit with the pink one, and I'll think about the other colors as I work on this one. That way I don't go too crazy trying to think of all the colors and how I'm gonna make them work together. I was actually gonna work on minis, but I did mention these sea turtles in my last video and I did not end up working on any. I want to be honest with you all, I completely forgot that I mentioned that I was going to do those in that video until I was editing and I was like, oh yeah, I did say that, huh? Now I'm gonna actually do them. I just right now really want to make something that I can make a lot of and just finish pretty quickly. I just want to see things starting to build in a direction, so that is what I'm going to be working on. I'm very excited to see how this goes. I'm using the Parfait plush in the pink that I bought for the shell. Bubblegum was the color, yes. And then I'm also going to be pairing it with the light pink from Naughty Pony. I do not remember the yarn names, so this is like the only pink that she offers right now, so you know, it's fine for me not to remember, right? I need to find the pattern for my medium sea turtles and review it because I totally forgot how to make these. Once I do that, then it should be a breeze to just make a whole bunch of these. I've gotten to the point as a pattern designer where I do not remember patterns that I wrote, even like willow. I've made so many willows, but if I don't pull up the pattern, I will forget certain steps. I'm gonna work on these sea turtles. That's the plan. I don't have any other plans except to hide these plushies for my family until actually it is Christmas. I'm gonna work on these sea turtles until Friday, and then I will check in with you all and end this video then. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I think my next video will be on all the patterns I designed in 2025, so that will come out right after Christmas if I am able to edit it in time. If not, it will be maybe a couple days late. Who knows? We'll see. I think that's all I have for you for now. I will check in with you all in a little bit and just keep you updated on these sea turtles. Hopefully I can get a bunch finished. It's been a couple days since I updated you all, so I do apologize, but I've actually had a busy couple of days outside of crocheting. Specifically, yesterday was a busy day. I finished the majority of the pink turtles 2 days ago, and then I finished the last two. I just needed to put everything together for the last two yesterday, so that's what I did. And I also embroidered the eyes this morning, just so you all can see them fully finished. Decided for the medium turtles, these guys right here, that I will be embroidering all their eyes, just because it's a lot more safe for children of all ages, and, you know, anyone else who's interested in them. I like to have options on the table, not just snugglers are baby safe, but also some of the regular plushies are baby safe as well. That is what I'm doing with these guys, but I made 5 of the pink ones and I think they are so pretty. I love this color of the shell. I wasn't sure when I received this darker pink from Parfait Plush. I wasn't sure how much I would like it, but it's like the softer version of the bright pink Sweet Snuggles Light. This is one of my favorite shades. I love it. And then in combination with the super light Naughty Pony pink, I mean, they're just perfect. They're cute and perfect. Also, I know that a lot of people put the fins on the other way. I just personally think it looks better this way. I am working on some green and brown ones. I'm gonna do 2 different shades of green and brown. I'm gonna start with the lighter shade. So I'm gonna do brown shells, which I already started. Out of Naughty Pony, I'm using this Parfait Plush in this shade of green. This is the chartreuse. I love this color. I'm going to be making a willow out of this, so hopefully I don't use too much of this for all the pieces, but I will also be making the belly in a 3rd color. For the solid colored turtles that are kind of like the weird colors, pink, purple, I just do the belly color in the same color. But for the green turtles, I like to use a cream or like a darker tan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these guys, and then I'm going to make a darker version with darker shades of all of these colors pretty much. My plan is to just work on sea turtles until they're finished. And hopefully that will be after Christmas. Christmas is 6 days away. I might be able to finish them faster than that. I don't have a fully set plan on how many I want to make yet. I know probably at least 30 would be the goal. and we'll go from there. I think I'm actually going to end the video here because I don't think I'll have another opportunity to talk with you all for a couple days, and I really need to get editing on this video if I want it out this weekend. I ended up making 5 sea turtles for my market prep. Yay! I wasn't planning on making anything for market prep in these last couple of weeks, so you know, it is a win in my book. I have 125 in monetary value, then 5 items that I made, so you add that to the inventory. I will put that on the screen because I do not remember where I was at. I'm going to start doing that in these videos and actually keeping track, so at the end of each of these videos I'll have a tally. And then I think I'm going to start a little bit of a new intro, that way you all know when my event is and you know how much longer until it hits, and I don't know, I'm thinking about that. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you watched all the way to the end, leave a sea turtle emoji. Do we have a sea turtle emoji? I mean, I guess a regular turtle will work too. Make sure to check out my coffee shop. I have a discount code for all you amazing people, single crochet in all caps, and you will get 10% off your total order. Thank you all so much for all of your support and for watching to the end of this video. I appreciate you all so very much, and I really truly mean that. I will see you in my next video. Bye!